Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So this video marks the beginning of week number 37 in this Road to 100k Realized Return Challenge. And I must say that this beginning of the week started with another bang because even before the markets open, during pre-market trading, basically the futures on the indexes, the S&P 500, the Nasdaq, they were all tumbling down again, based on the fact that during the weekend, some efforts of negotiations by other countries with the United States aiming towards lowering or perhaps even discontinuing the tariffs that were announced last week. These, I think many of, or either all of those negotiations fell apart, and so this launched another wave of pessimism even before pre-trading, even before the markets open. The Nasdaq, for example, was tumbling down 3.5% before trading, and this reflected, of course, on the performance of the QQQ even before the markets open. And so, yeah, as you can see here, the market opened with another gap. However, this gap led, of course, to a lower opening. But then, and keep in mind that at this point, we were about 15 minutes into the trading, and what appeared to be another sedated, if even though negative session, this turned out to be a complete reverse of the situation. And keep in mind that this time we had already sold some calls on QQQ, as you can see right here. I'm going to show you, and yes, here they are. By the way, the premiums were extremely inflated. The implied volatility, and here as you can see, we sold 3 calls at 420 with a strike price of 428 at around 3:53 p.m. So this is, of course, Central European time. So 23 minutes into the trading, we managed to get this premium, which is very significant. And this goes to show how much was the implied volatility at that point. But it still remains at 44%. At the time it was 49. So and we keep in mind we're talking about an index. This is not an individual stock. This is actually an ETF tracking an index. And so coming back to where we were, and here let's put here, this is for the 1 day. So here, as you can see, let's push this a little bit back, and by around this time here, yeah, by around this time, give or take, yeah, around here, this is where we are. I'm gonna put here our time zone, which is basically this one. And here at 3:53 p.m. we were somewhere around here, so we basically sold the calls right up here. But basically what happened was this huge surge in the index. And keep in mind, our strike price was 428, and in a matter of just 2 or 3 minutes, you could hardly take your eyes off the screen. The index shot up to $443. And at this point, the calls were already, keep in mind, we sold the calls at 1.22 a piece. The calls here at this point were over 10. So if we had to close this position, we would have to pay, to close our entire position, we have to pay around 3,000 euros to close this position, which is absolutely ridiculous. And at this point, I can tell I was having cold sweats all over my back because I did not see this one coming by any means. We basically went from around 3% being down to around 3% being up. So this was a swing of 6% in a matter of half an hour, give or take. Absolutely ludicrous. And so, but even though at that point the strength of the buyers subsided, and this came back, and so yeah, things became a little bit more tenable. Uh, but still, at this point, because at that time I could not stay with my eyes at the screen for a continuous amount of time without interruptions. Basically, what I did, I just uh, put an order to buy back those options at the price of $1, basically, in order for us to try to get some gain out of it. And so here it is. At some point, this close to 7 o'clock local time, so Central European time, these calls were bought back, and so we basically went ahead and sold new ones, but at a higher strike price, which at this point is almost worthless. Keep in mind here the price now remained at 421, so if we kept those calls, for sure we would still kept the entire premium, but for the amount of risk that we were taking and the exposure that we could not afford, because yeah, it was way too risky the way the Nasdaq was behaving. And so yeah, basically to keep it on the safe side and avoid the risk of the index shooting up again, we close a position, we open a new one at 438, collected some more premium, as you can see here. Basically, and given the fact that we are in the last stages of the trading day, it's probably something that I will consider in the next few minutes to close down this position and open a new one with a slightly lower strike price to get some more premium out of this, but we'll see. For Pfizer, basically at this price, we are not able to sell any calls within a reasonable time at the strike price we want, which is basically the 26.50. Now here, this is a 2 week call option, and we only get 2 cents for as a premium, which is basically not nearly enough. And even here, as you can see, by the way, this premium should be higher than this one, but so that might be some sort of arbitrage opportunity, or not arbitrage, but lack of liquidity, as so to speak. So even here for the 3 week, we only get 3 sets, which is basically not nearly enough. We currently already, as you can see here, the one for the 1 week is not even available at this point. But given the fact that markets have somewhat went into the mood, which is we are not seeing things as horrible as they used to be last week. I expect with a very low degree of confidence, I should say, that perhaps markets may recoup some of the recent losses, and this may make the Pfizer calls more appealing in the next few days. And so I'm going to be waiting to see what happens, and if not, we basically go ahead and sell some of the calls even at a higher maturity to see what happens. For the time being, this is all, and let's see what happens with this call. Probably I will buy those back and sell a few ones, other ones at a slightly lower strike price. I can see here, so yeah, probably around here, 431, 430. At this point in time, I think it should be feasible, but yeah, we'll see. For the time being, this is all. Feel free to leave your comments below, and also feel free to DM me on LinkedIn for any questions you may have, and also of course feel free to like the video and subscribe to the channel. While I'm going to close down this position because it's all now at 1 cent, and we'll reconvene at the end of the week to see what happened to the rest of these trades. But yeah, I'll see you there.